You cannot give me a child, and you cannot even cook.
Joseph, you hit me. The man I married would never hit me.
Let me tell you the story, and how it all began. Victoria met Joseph at a friend's wedding in 2010. He was not rich. He worked as a mid-level accountant at a small firm in Ikeja. His salary was okay, nothing special. He lived in a one-bedroom flat in Ikorodu. But when Victoria looked at him, she saw something money could not buy. She saw kindness in his eyes. She saw the way he laughed with his whole heart. She saw how he helped an old woman carry her bag to a taxi without being asked. That one no husband material, her friend whispered to her that day. And her friend was right. Joseph was not like the other men who chased Victoria. He did not promise her the world. He did not lie about having connections or money he did not have. He was honest. He told her, "Victoria, I am just a simple man. I cannot give you a mansion or a Range Rover. But I can give you my heart, my loyalty, and my best effort every single day." That was enough for Victoria. More than enough. They got married in 2011. It was a small wedding, nothing extravagant. Victoria's mother had complained, "This boy is not rich, oh. Are you sure?" But Victoria was sure. She was so sure it hurt. The first 3 years of their marriage were beautiful. They lived in a modest but modern 2-bedroom flat in Magodo. Every morning, Victoria would wake up at 5 a.m. She would cook Joseph's favorite jollof rice or yam porridge or fried plantain with eggs. She would pack it in a lunchbox with so much love. She would iron his shirts until they were perfect. She would kiss him goodbye at the door and watch him drive off in their old Toyota Corolla. Joseph would come home every evening with a smile. Sometimes he brought her chin-chin from the woman at the junction. Sometimes he brought her flowers from the market. Small things. Things that showed he was thinking of her. They would sit together and eat dinner. They would watch NTA or African Magic. They would talk about their day. They would laugh. They would make love. They were happy. But there was one thing missing. One thing that Victoria wanted more than anything else in the world. A child. The first year, they were not worried. "These things take time," Joseph would say, rubbing her belly gently. The second year, Victoria's mother started asking questions. "Victoria, what is happening? You people are not trying. Go and see a doctor." The third year, the questions became sharper. Family members would visit and ask, "Any good news?" with that look in their eyes. That pitying look. Victoria and Joseph went to the hospital. They did tests. The doctor said everything looked normal. "Just keep trying. Sometimes it takes time. Reduce stress. Pray." So they prayed. Victoria fasted every Monday. Joseph joined her. They went to different churches. They went to see Pastor Adeyemi in Lekki, who was known for miracle babies. They went to see Prophet Elijah in Festac, who anointed them with oil. They went to crusades. They did deliverance sessions. Nothing happened. By the 5th year, Victoria could not sleep at night. She would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, tears running down her face. She would hear her friends talking about their children. She would see pregnant women on the street and feel like someone was squeezing her heart. Joseph would hold her in the dark. "Victoria, don't cry. God's time is the best. We will have our child. I promise you." But promises are just words. And words cannot fill empty arms. The 6th year changed something in Joseph. Victoria could feel it. He started coming home late. He would say he had to work overtime, but she could smell the beer on his breath. He would barely talk to her. He would eat her food in silence and go to bed without saying goodnight. One night, Victoria tried to talk to him. She sat on their bed, her hands shaking. "Joseph, please talk to me. What is wrong? What did I do?" Joseph did not look at her. He was taking off his shoes, his movements rough and angry. "What did you do?" he repeated, his voice cold. "Victoria, we have been married for 6 years. 6 years. All my mates have children. Even my younger brother has 2 children. But me? Nothing. My mother calls me every week crying, asking when I will give her a grandchild. My friends laugh at me. They say I am firing blanks. Do you know how that feels?" Victoria's heart broke right there. "Joseph, it is not my fault. We went to the hospital. The doctor said. The doctor said everything is normal." Joseph shouted, finally looking at her. His eyes were red, filled with anger and pain. "But if everything is normal, why are you not pregnant? Why, Victoria? Tell me why." Victoria could not speak. Her throat was tight. Tears poured down her face. Joseph stood up and walked out of the room. She heard the front door slam. She did not see him again until the next evening. That was when the real nightmare began. The 7th year was hell. Joseph became a different person. The man who used to bring her flowers now brought her pain. He would come home drunk, sometimes at midnight, sometimes at 3 a.m. He would shout at her for small things. The food was too salty. The house was not clean enough. His shirt was not ironed properly. One night, Victoria made a mistake. She was cooking and she forgot to add enough pepper to the stew. Joseph came home drunk. He tasted the food and threw the plate against the wall. "You cannot even cook properly now. You cannot give me a child and you cannot cook. Joseph, I am sorry. I will remake it. Please." He slapped her. Hard. Across the face. Victoria stood there, her cheek burning, her ears ringing. Joseph had never hit her before. Never. She looked at him, and she did not recognize the man standing in front of her. "Joseph," she whispered, her voice breaking. "You hit me." For a moment, she saw something flash in his eyes. Regret. Shame. But it disappeared quickly. He turned and walked to the bedroom, leaving her standing in the kitchen, her hand on her cheek, her heart shattered into a million pieces. That was the first time. But it was not the last. The beatings became regular. Joseph would find any excuse. Victoria burned the eggs. Victoria did not wash his clothes fast enough. Victoria looked at him the wrong way. Each time, he would hit her. Sometimes a slap. Sometimes a punch. Sometimes he would push her and she would fall. Victoria's friend, Chioma, noticed the bruises. "Victoria, what is happening to you? These marks on your arm, who did this?" "I fell," Victoria lied, her voice flat. "You fell." "Victoria, please. I am not stupid. Is it Joseph?" Victoria said nothing. She just looked away. Chioma held her hand. "Victoria, you need to leave. This is not right. He is abusing you." "I cannot leave," Victoria said quietly. "He is my husband. I made vows. For better or for worse. Maybe if I pray harder, maybe if I try harder, things will get better." But things did not get better. They got worse. One night, after another beating, Victoria lay on the bathroom floor, her body aching, her spirit broken. She looked at herself in the mirror. Her face was swollen. Her eyes were hollow. She did not recognize herself anymore. She thought about her wedding day. She thought about how Joseph had looked at her with so much love. She thought about the promises they made. She thought about the life they had built together. And then she thought about this. This hell. This prison. She made a decision. It was not easy. It took her 3 more months to gather the courage. 3 more months of pain. 3 more months of praying that things would change. But they did not. One morning, while Joseph was at work, Victoria packed her bags. She did not take much. Just her clothes, her certificates, and some money she had been saving secretly. She left her wedding ring on the table. She left a note. Joseph, I cannot do this anymore. I have loved you with everything in me. I have tried my best to be a good wife. But you have broken me. You have broken us. I am leaving. Do not look for me. Goodbye. She walked out of that house and she did not look back. Victoria moved to a small self-contained apartment in Ojodu. She got a job as a receptionist at a hotel. The pay was not much, but it was enough. She started rebuilding her life, piece by piece. It was hard. Some days she would cry until she had no more tears. Some days she would wake up and wonder if she made the right decision. But she kept going. She started therapy. She joined a support group for women who had experienced domestic violence. She learned that what happened to her was not her fault. She learned that she deserved better. She learned to love herself again. 2 years passed. Victoria was healing. She was stronger. She was happier. She had started a small online business selling clothes. She had friends who supported her. She had hope again. One day, her phone rang. It was an unknown number. She almost did not answer, but something made her pick up. Hello. Victoria. It was Joseph's voice. But it sounded different. Broken. Small. Victoria's heart started beating fast. Joseph. How did you get my number? I got it from Chioma. Victoria, please. I need to talk to you. Please. We have nothing to talk about, Joseph. I have moved on. Victoria, please. Just listen. Please. His voice cracked. He was crying. Victoria closed her eyes. She did not want to do this. But something in his voice made her pause. 5 minutes, she said. You have 5 minutes. Joseph took a shaky breath. Victoria, I went to the hospital. 3 months ago. I was not feeling well. They did tests. Full tests. He paused. Victoria, I have a low sperm count. Very low. The doctor said it has probably been like this for years. Maybe even before we got married. He said it is almost impossible for me to father a child naturally. Victoria felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. She could not breathe. She could not think. Victoria, are you there? Yes, she whispered. I am here. It was never you, Joseph said, his voice breaking completely now. It was me. All this time. All those years. All that pain I caused you. All those things I said. All those times I hit you. And it was me. It was always me. Victoria sat down. Her hands were shaking. 7 years. 7 years of pain. 7 years of blame. 7 years of thinking something was wrong with her. 7 years of prayers and fasting and shame. 7 years of torture. And it was never her fault. Joseph, she said, her voice cold now. Do you know what you did to me? Do you know how many nights I cried myself to sleep? Do you know how many times I prayed to God asking Him what was wrong with me? Do you know how worthless you made me feel? I know, Joseph sobbed. I know, Victoria. And I am sorry. I am so sorry. I was angry. I was hurting. I took it out on you. I became a monster. I know I do not deserve your forgiveness. I know I destroyed everything. I needed you to know the truth. I needed you to know it was never you. Victoria was crying now too. But her tears were different. They were tears of anger. Tears of grief. Tears for the time she lost. Tears for the woman she used to be. Joseph, I suffered because of you. You beat me. You abused me. You made me feel like I was nothing. And now you are telling me it was all for nothing. That you destroyed our marriage, you destroyed me, because of your own problem. I know, Joseph whispered. I know. I have to live with that every day. I see your face every night. I see what I did to you. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. I have lost everything. My wife. My peace. My soul. Victoria, I am not asking you to come back. I know you never will. I just needed you to know the truth. I needed you to know that you are not broken. You never were. Victoria wiped her tears. She looked out of her window at the Lagos skyline. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and pink. Joseph, I appreciate you telling me the truth. But it does not change what you did. It does not erase the scars. It does not give me back those years. I know. I hope you heal, Joseph. I hope you become a better man. But I cannot be part of that journey. Goodbye. She hung up the phone. Victoria sat there for a long time, letting it all sink in. It was never her fault. She was not broken. She was not cursed. She was not defective. She was just a woman who loved the wrong man. But she was also a woman who was strong enough to live. Strong enough to rebuild. Strong enough to choose herself. 3 years later, Victoria is thriving. Her business is growing. She has peace. She has joy. She has learned that her worth is not tied to her ability to have children. She has learned that she is enough, just as she is. She heard through friends that Joseph is still alone. Still living with regret. Still haunted by what he lost. Some people say he drinks even more now. Some people say he goes to church every day, begging God for forgiveness. Victoria does not hate him anymore. She has forgiven him, not for his sake, but for hers. Because holding on to that anger was like drinking poison and expecting him to die. But forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Forgiveness does not erase consequences. Joseph lost the best thing that ever happened to him because he could not handle pain with grace. Because he chose to blame instead of understand. Because he chose violence instead of love. And now he has to live with that. This is the story of Victoria. A story that is too common. A story that happens every day in Lagos, in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world. Women being blamed for things that are not their fault. Women being abused because men cannot face their own inadequacies. Women suffering in silence because society tells them to endure. But this is also a story of hope. Because Victoria left. Because Victoria survived. Because Victoria rebuilt her life. And if you are reading this, and you are in a situation like Victoria's, I want you to know something. You are not alone. You are not to blame. You deserve better. And you are strong enough to walk away. It will not be easy. It will hurt. You will cry. You will doubt yourself. But on the other side of that pain is peace. On the other side of that darkness is light. On the other side of that prison is freedom. Choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose your life. Because you deserve it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and turn on the notification button. Also, do share your thoughts with me in the comment section below. Bye for now.